Welcome to the deep dive. Ever been stuck on a project wondering who's actually supposed to sign something off?
Yeah.
That who owns this?
Oh,
Confusion.
yeah, it stalls everything.
Exactly. Today we're diving into that project accountability,
hmm
specifically through the lens of PRINCE2. How do we get it right from the start? We're drawing our insights today from some great material on getting roles and responsibilities spot on, particularly from the book Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon.
Yeah, and that clarity, that structure, it's absolutely fundamental. A project needs a solid organizational structure for governance, for effective execution. It can't be an afterthought.
Right.
We're really focusing here on the PRINCE2 organization theme, which basically says accountability isn't just a procedure, it's baked into the design.
Okay, let's get right into it. PRINCE2 is big on defined roles and responsibilities. We know that.
Yeah.
But what's the absolute minimum, the sort of core action that makes this principle actually work, not just, words on paper?
Well, the principle itself is key, ensuring every single part of the project is owned, managed by the right person or group.
Sure.
But the specific requirement, the thing you must do to make it operational, is to define its organization structure and roles to ensure that all of the responsibilities are fulfilled. That's the direct action.
Define its organization structure and roles.
Okay.
But that last bit, to ensure all responsibilities are fulfilled, that feels like the critical part, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Because, we've all seen org charts. How does this go beyond just drawing boxes? What's the real strategic benefit here?
Well, a typical org chart shows hierarchy, right? Who reports to whom?
Yeah.
This PRINCE2 requirement demands total coverage. It forces you to look at every single responsibility needed for the project, things like project assurance, maybe day-to-day risk logging, whatever it is, and explicitly map it to a specific role or even a named person. It makes it structurally, well, almost impossible to play the blame game later.
Because it's already signed.
Precisely. The design itself guarantees someone owns every piece. It's like building the audit trail before you even start the work.
That's a powerful distinction. So the structure isn't just lines on paper, it's the actual foundation holding things up. But I guess this is where people get confused, right? They focus on other things instead.
Absolutely. A classic mistake is mixing up this foundational structure definition with, say, communication protocols.
How so?
Well, teams often jump ahead. They start figuring out who needs which report, how often they get updates, the stakeholder communication details.
Like comms plan.
Yeah, but defining the means and frequency of communication, that belongs under the communication management strategy. It's important, sure, but it's a separate theme. It's not about defining the roles themselves.
So if you haven't even defined who owns the final say on the product, like the senior user role,
Exactly.
then no amount of status reports is going to fix the fact that nobody knows who actually accepts it. You're putting the cart before the horse.
You've got it. If that senior user role isn't structurally defined and assigned, your fancy communication plan won't magically grant someone the authority. Another common pitfall is getting bogged down in rules for delegating change authority.
Which is the change theme, right?
Right. Again, vital stuff, managing change requests and scope. But those procedures depend on having a clearly defined organization structure already in place. Who has the authority to delegate in the first place? That comes from the defined roles.
Okay, so let's bring this home. For anyone listening, managing a project or maybe overseeing one from a board level, what's the key takeaway?
It's that real solid accountability isn't something you fix with better meeting minutes or clearer emails halfway through. It's engineered right at the very beginning. It comes from defining that organizational structure, making sure every single role and responsibility is explicitly covered.
It starts with the structure, not the process docs that come later.
Exactly. And this, it brings up a really critical question for anyone leading projects.
Yeah.
If your project feels stuck, if decisions lag or responsibilities seem to slip through the cracks all the time, ask yourself, is this really a communication problem? Or is it actually a deeper foundational issue? Did we fail to properly define the roles and structure at the outset?
A definition failure.
Because if every responsibility isn't clearly assigned within that structure, no amount of talking or status updates is going to fill those gaps. That structural definition is the key.
That's a really pointed question to reflect on. And for anyone who wants to really nail that structural clarity, get that governance right from day one, we definitely recommend digging deeper with Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon.